Now that you're settled in over there, let's see if we can get started with check-in. This afternoon, Rob, you want to start? They're still kind of
Sure, if you could just turn that this way, that'd be great. Hi, I'm Robert Zodig. I am well. I have no time constraints. We have Candy Messenger is missing, and Roger Lloyd is currently missing. I have no elephants, expectations to make progress.
My name is Elizabeth Brinkley, doing well, no time constraints, missing has been noted, no elephants, expectations, I'll go with make progress.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Amy Desmore, and I'm fine. I do have a time constraint this evening of 6 p.m. Noted Teresa, right?
yes.
No elephants, and my expectations are that we make some progress.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kevin Kelly. I'm doing well. Roger Lloyd just came in, so it looks like he's going to check in. No time constraints, no elephants, and my expectations are make progress.
Roger, up here.
Hi everyone, I'm Alex Dorzansky. I'm doing great. I have no time constraints. The missing's been noted, no elephants. My expectations are to continue making progress as well.
Good afternoon, Fernando Vasquez. I'm doing well, no time constraints. The missing have been noted. I have no elephants. Expectations are great and is to make progress.
Good afternoon, my name is Roger Lloyd. My badge no longer works here, but I'm still doing okay. I have no time
Nobody told you,
constraints.
Roger, huh?
No elephants, expectations, I'd like to make progress.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Jason Kurtz. I'm doing amazing. I do have a 6:15 time constraint. Missing's been noted. I don't have any elephants I'm aware of. My expectations are to make progress.
Good afternoon. My name is Mike Robichaud. I'm doing well. I have a time constraint of 5:30. Missing is noted. No elephants in the room, and I will go with to make progress.
Cheryl Neely, I am doing well today. I have no time constraints. The missing are still missing. There are no elephants, and I will, the expectations are making progress. Thank you.
Of course, McIntosh, I'm doing fine. No time constraints. Missing has been noted. No elephants, and the expectations to make progress as well.
Good evening, my name is Barbara Cedino. I'm doing well, no time constraints, missing as noted, no elephants. Expectation is to continue making progress.
Okay. Going to start over there and come around. Lois?
Good evening, my name is Lois Dubay. I am well, no time constraints. Missing for us is Jacqueline Lineberger and Amber Evans. And expectations is to continue progress.
Deborah, my name is her name, Deborah Evans.
Sorry about that, thank you. What was your expectation at continue progress? Thank you.
Hi, my name is Arlise Williams. I am doing well. No time constraints. Missing has been noted. No elephant. Expectation is to make progress.
Hello, my name is Roger Wilson. I'm doing great. No time constraints. Missing has been noted. No elephants. Expectation, make progress.
Good afternoon, my name is Patrice Coates. I am okay. My time constraints is 6 o'clock. Missing has been noted, elephants, none, expectations, making progress.
Good evening, my name is Chris Cox. I'm doing well. I have no time constraints. Missing's been noted. No elephants. And make progress.
Good evening, I'm Victoria Davis. I'm doing great. no time constraint, missing has been noted, no elephant. Expectation is to make progress along with everybody else.
Hi, I'm Laura Rosen. I'm doing great. Time constraint, 6 o'clock. Missing's noted, no elephants. Expectations, making progress.
All right, thank you, everyone. Amy?
I'm in French, I'm doing well. I do not have any time constraints, Don and I are here. I do not have any elephants, and my expectations are helping make progress.
And good afternoon, my name is Donna Mutzenard, I'm doing well. No time constraints, missing has been noted, and my expectation is to help you make progress. Oh, yes, I saw her come in, yes. That's off.
Oh, sorry.
Hi, Teresa Bowen. I'm doing well. I have no time constraints, no elephants, and I would love to make progress.
Thank you very much. Yeah, with that, you received minutes, I assume? And does anybody have any changes, corrections, deletions to the minutes? Trees? I'm doing well, how are you?
This is not a correction, it's more just a, I guess, a clarification of bullet number 6 on page 2. It says, what is the maintenance department not able to complete during normal contract hours? And I guess just for clarification, wanted to say what specific tasks can't the maintenance department complete during normal contract hours? Question mark.
Okay. Okay, just to make it a little...
Just to make it a little clearer.
Okay.
What, can you say one more time?
I know, it sounds funny, doesn't it? Okay.
No, you're fine.
What, I guess what I wanted to change it to is what specific tasks can't the maintenance department complete during normal contract hours? I think I was the one that asked that question.
What specific task?
Can't the maintenance,
Can we say is the department
unable to, yeah, that's fine.
Donna, just to, thank you for that. I will just tell you that I don't put punctuation at the end of these
Oh, that's what I was wondering.
clauses
Okay.
because they're not sentences.
Oh.
They're just sort of thoughts.
Right. and
So that's why there's not a
okay,
question mark there.
And I was wondering
Yeah.
if that is that the process in the story part?
Correct,
It
and
is
that's,
just,
yeah.
you know,
We
okay.
had a
well, I
similar
won't-
conversation with Talc, actually.
Yes,
Okay.
we did.
Okay.
And the second one, number 7, issues that might take longer than normal work hours will be the 4 10-hour days. Cross out might and help.
Where are you?
Have the bullet under it.
Number
Issues
7.
that might take longer than normal work hours.
Says, so 4 10-hour days might help.
Yes.
So we're not worried about grammar.
No,
Okay.
not too much.
Thank you.
I mean, unless it
Because I have a whole
totally
bunch
messes
of
up the meaning of
Okay.
what was stated.
Okay, okay, thank you
Thank
for
you.
that.
My legal writing professor would have a heart attack.
Okay. No, thank you so much. I will stop at that then.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Corrections, deletions. All right, with that, can we accept the minutes as corrected? All right. Thank you. We have had a request to change up the agenda a little bit and start with compensation. And then Mike, you want to go first because you have to leave at 5:30? Because I didn't realize.
Oh, just so SPALC's aware.
Right.
Mike Robichaud, the Director of Benefits, I don't know your title now, Mike. Yeah. There's some changes that are just simply things that are outdated in the benefits section of the contract. So I'm going to hand this over to him so he can, I think he's going to put it up on the screen so we can discuss that.
Okay.
in reviewing this with our benefits coordinator, she has a longer history here, much longer history than I do, so it just caught her attention. These are some suggestions to clean this language up. So let me zoom in a little bit. Is that legible over there for you all? Yeah. Okay. Just on this first page here, to remove the statement about a date and Aetna, just because that's something that can change any given year, in all honesty. There's terms in our contract where we can end that relationship. We're not looking to do that, but we didn't feel it was needed, so that's one of our recommendations there. Moving down here, I confirmed this with our coordinator, and that the dependent subsidy is actually $4,080 annually, and then we put in there the language for employees who elect basically plus one or more coverage, so dependent or spouse. It just wasn't outlined in the language. Moving down, and stop me if anybody has any questions. Line 20 through 24, just updated the acronym. It wasn't really spelled out in here in this section before it was spelled out. So we spelled out the health savings account and then added language in there to state basically any flex credits in excess of the employee-only medical plan premium will be deposited into the employee's HSA account with the district's HSA vendor and will not be applied to dependent medical insurance, dental, and those other benefits. Basically, on the HDHP plan, that leftover money needs to go into that HSA account. So that's what that states there. It can't be used for other benefits. I'm going to go on to the next page. It's here at 48. So I struck the language on lines 41 to 43, where it says the district will make every effort to ensure employees receive electronic confirmation of their open enrollment selection prior to the first payroll deduction of the plan year. This is really an action that the employees are encouraged to take in PeopleSoft. There's an option to actually print your summary statement. So she felt as if this language was not necessary. So if it is, speak up. If not, I mean, it's still a suggested edit, but just to clean it up because there was some language in there about that we're gonna provide it to you. It's actually an action the employee has to take in self-service in PeopleSoft. They've added that ability in PeopleSoft for the employees to do that. This kind of got a little wonky here, so bear with me. This needs to be some cleanup on the edits. Lines 1 through 4 here. So again, updated an acronym. Use within the language was already spelled out in the title. And then, looking at my notes, just a reminder, and it's a fact that for your FSA, that's one thing you have to do every year. That it doesn't automatically just roll over from year to year because it does affect your compensation and your pay. So that's something you have to elect every year as it's regulated by the IRS. Major medical insurance. So this language that was struck here from lines 7 through 9, you can see is, and as again outdated, typically putting plan names in there because again, those can change at some point within the life of the contract. If change plan, we're just making it clear that we are providing major medical insurance and that option for the employees. But you can see here some of these plans we don't even offer anymore, 5773 and 3769. So we just felt to just clean it up and remove it. Everything else would stay as put, and it talks about your waiting period for a new hire as far as how long you have to wait before your benefits take effect. We added in critical illness and accident here on line 16. And that is it. So Rob, what's the process? I can share these notes with them, or obviously if they have any questions now.
And I think I was able to capture most of what you have in one of the options.
Yes. Okay.
All right, anybody have any questions or clarification?
And just so you know, this is the same in like all of the kind. It wasn't just your all's. Yeah, salary schedule. It was in across all 4 of them. It was the same edits that we made that we'll be presenting to TALC next.
Okay.
Charlie?
Can you go back up? Because, yeah, really need to look at this more. And I am concerned, I can understand what you're saying about the name of the insurance or the name of the plan, but I am concerned about taking out the proportion where it says effective April 1st. Also, we are concerned about the part where it says notifying the employees, right? Because we do have people that is not good with electronics, right? So, yeah, we don't want that proportion taken out, because I understand everything is on PeopleSoft, and I tell you now, people have been working for the district for years, and they still don't know how to work every function on PeopleSoft. So we don't agree with that being taken out, and, you know, basically, we need time to look over these changes to come to a decision, and make sure our whole team, if we can just get a copy, you guys can email it to us, we can get it to our team, and we really need to look at this a little bit more.
So you're asking to table this till the next?
Yes, ma'am.
Next session?
Yes.
May I ask a question? Did the insurance task force see this yet?
They're not.
Okay. Usually they bring recommendations to the bargaining teams for changes.
We meet Thursday, so we can bring that up
Yes.
in front of both groups. I think that will be fine, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Perfect. Perfect. All right, with that, is everybody okay with holding on to this, Mike? Is that okay? Holding off on this until our next meeting? Okay, that'll give everybody time to check things out and everybody to get on board. You can probably, well, Talc Insurance Task Force people will see it Thursday anyway, but if you could probably email it to the Talc team as well, that would give them a head start before their next session. Rob? Yep. Yep.
I'm ready to move on to compensation.
Okay.
So
Thank
long
you,
as, is SPALC okay with moving on to compensation?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to turn the microphone and the screen over to Dr. Desmore, who has prepared a short presentation for us to discuss the budget and the impact of the legislature's actions, and we'll talk at the end of that about our bargaining authority and the Evergreen salary study. So with that, Dr. Desmore.
Hopefully we have this pretty soon. Loading, loading.
Of course. There we go. Uh-oh.
Hold, please. It's nice to sit next to Kevin. I'm gonna smile and look while he does whatever it is that he's doing right now.
206.
Hey, all
All
right.
right.
We're in business. Sorry for the delay. All right, so as Rob said, yes, we do have some information to share with you about budget this year and an executive authority. So just to, of course, we have talked quite a bit in here, not just this year, but in previous years about kind of what brings us to the situation that we have today. And we know that recruitment and retention is key We still deal with making sure that we are trying to hold on to all of our great people and the highest quality talent that we can, because we have a very important mission to accomplish here for the over 100,000 students that we know we support every day. And so we all have the same interest in that. And so these are the interests as we have listed them this year for our bargaining. All of these things that you see, including we've had many conversations about things like compression, recruitment and retention, and morale, but knowing that the ultimate goal for all of us is student achievement. And that's what we are trying to make sure that we work together towards the same goals. Those are our stated interests, and we know that they are the same for all of us. And so to talk a little bit about the state education budget, we did receive it, or at least as it is preliminarily now. We know that it changes throughout the year, but this is all of the information we have now as it has been approved by the state and the governor. So Lee County's total allocation for next year is going to be $987.5 million, and that's through the FEFP, or the Florida Education Finance Program, which is, as we all know, the major source of funding for the school district. That's an increase in the number of FTE, or the students that we're going to have next year, of almost 4,000, which is a big increase. But some of that increase comes from those students that they're counting that are family empowerment scholarships, or that is private school students that we're contributing public school funding for. So that includes those things. The BSA, or the base student allocation, which is that amount per student that we get, it did increase by $191 from the a little over 5,100 to the little over 5,300 allocated for next year. So for Lee County, that's a total funding increase of $57.9 million for next year. And of that total funding increase, so of that 57 million, 17.5 mil goes to private schools for that family empowerment scholarship. So all in all, that per FTE increase in funding is 2.36%. So the increase in funding that we receive from the state, 2.36% per FTE. And we'll make sure to send this to you, so you'll have this as copy for you as well, okay? So of that 57.9 that we mentioned, and then of course 17.5 million going towards private schools, so that's about $40 million left of that. There's a bunch of other things that's going on. We have to account for the growth of the students at all of our schools, so that is equivalent to about 15.4 million, looking at the resources that they have right now, so that's kind of dollar for dollar. There's a small increase in the Florida retirement system, a rate system for next year that the district covers. I mentioned that family empowerment scholarship increase of the 17.5 million. A property insurance increase of about 2.3 million. So same as everybody increases in their personal property insurance at home, district experiences that as well. And then some additional increased costs related to that health insurance increase for dependent care. There'll be more people that are entering into that, and that will be additional cost as well. So those are just some things, and I say in parentheses so far, because we know that there will be many more things that impact the budget, but these are just a smattering of some of the things that we know of right now that will be increased cost to the district, just for our information. So just wanted to give some history about the salary increases over the past couple of years that some of us have been at the table for to participate in, but some have not. And for everybody watching too, just to know what that history has been from FY21 to FY24. We've been from a 2% increase in FY21, various bonuses in FY22 and 23 that if you were eligible for all of them could have equaled up to $6,400 in those years. We had the minimum wage increase pushing up to $15 an hour, and that was in August of 2022. An 80 cent per hour increase in FY23,
And then most recently, the 8% increase in this current fiscal year, and then interspersed in a couple of those years, there were also longevity increases, 2 of them that came along in a couple of those years as well. And then in addition, the benefit increase, the increase to the board share, and then also the increase to those employees that choose into dependent care coverage as well, which was a large impact to employees personally in terms of being able to provide for the affordability of dependent care, which was very important. So just going over that history as we do, just to, again, some people don't have that history, and all those things are good, but we know we have to keep pushing forward on the things that we want to do if we want to meet the interests that we all identified together. So that being said, we got with the board to ask for some board authority, and the board did approve money equivalent to what is a 5% increase. So that equivalent to for the SPALC bargaining unit is approximately $7.1 million for that equivalent bargaining authority. That is what we did, the authority that we did receive from the board. And then along with that, given the information that the Evergreen salary study, as we know and as we have discussed it, is underway. And we expect that we will be receiving information back from that soon that will work with each other, because our intent, as we understood it and stated for each other last year in the bargaining for this year, that the intent was to use the authority from this year to address the salary schedules per the recommendations from that salary schedule study. And knowing that the addressing all of the recommendations that may come forth from that may be a multi-year plan. It may take several years in order to address the recommendations that we mutually agree upon to address, and it may be more than 1 year that it takes to do that, but we're committed to do that, to address the recommendations as we discuss them and as we agree together. But we discussed, I say last year, but it might have been whenever we agreed upon the FY24, 8%, which I really think was sometime this current fiscal year, that our bargaining authority last year was distributed on that 8%, and then the discussion was, all right, with our next bargaining authority, we believe that we'll have more information in order to address those recommendations with that bargaining authority, which we now have. So that's the information that I had to share. I will turn the mic over to Rob. I don't know if you wanted to follow that, or if you have questions, I'm happy to take them as well. So I'll pause for questions first.
Anybody have any questions, need clarifications on anything? As Simone said, she will be sending this out to everybody. But if you need clarifications now, Laura?
The Evergreen salary study that's underway, like how far are they on that?
So the timeline that I believe that we're working on is that we should receive some preliminary information to be able to analyze, share, talk about within the next couple of weeks, and then recommendations to come. That's just pieces of information, not necessarily formulated any type of recommendation, but just pieces of information. And then a recommendation or a formulation of some kind of salary schedule or recommendation package structure, however they give it to us, we expect to have within the next month, according to the timeline that they gave to us.
Can I have you go back? Yeah, right there. No, go forward one. Sorry.
Right here?
Forward one. That one?
No, back down. No,
Talk to me, Laura, talk to me. Okay.
Hold on, I don't have my distance, sorry.
Okay.
So can you go?
One more back?
No, forward.
Okay.
I'm trying to do what you want me to do. Is this
Right
it?
there.
Okay.
Okay, you go to the next one, please.
Hmm?
You go to the next, I don't know how you're putting them.
Forward or back?
Okay, not this one.
Not that one.
This one?
Scroll this one. Now,
You don't want the history, right?
Went before I got started. Oh, okay, so then.
Not this one?
Not this
Stay
one.
right there.
Oh, she says stay right there.
Okay. Go to the next.
Next one?
Okay, so this here is what the board is agreeing, talking to Mike.
I'm sorry, this is what the board is agreeing, approximately 7.1 million for the SPALC unit to bargain with?
Correct. This is the board authority that we have been granted for bargaining for this session, for FY25. That's right.
And you said that was a, oh, sorry. Can you hear me? I'm sorry.
No, we have to do the mic because of the filming.
For the live cast.
YouTube.
Sorry. And you said that was a 5% increase?
I did. I said it's money equivalent to a 5% increase. That's
Okay.
right.
Across the board, okay. Thank you.
Sure. And I put that is the equivalency because it's just to give people perspective of what that is, right? Doesn't mean at all that that's how it's implemented, but it is just that money is what that's equivalent to.
Anybody else? Elise?
Okay, I'm totally, well, no, I'm not confused. Why is it that we keep getting different dates about this salary schedule? Because last bargaining, Rob told us by the time we get the bargaining authority, we will have that schedule back.
I think she
And
means
now,
you mean the study?
yeah, the study, I'm
Okay.
sorry. And Amy, if I'm not, I don't wanna misquote you, but you said maybe 2 weeks to a month?
Yeah, I said in 2 weeks, we would, expected to receive some preliminary information. That doesn't mean a whole recommendation or a whole plan put together. That is just some information
So
that they're
and this-
basing a plan on. And then within, about a month of, the actual recommendations that we could try to work with.
Okay.
So you was, sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Amy, no, finish.
Okay, I was just saying, so you were saying that, okay, why do we keep receiving different dates? But we are communicating the information that we are receiving. I mean, it's a new process, it's a lot of information, a lot of data, a lot of things that they're trying to put together. And so we're communicating as we are getting the information and trying to keep you up to date based on what we get. So it's not because anybody wants to give different information or put things off, but as they get more, information and as they get deeper in, then they give us information and we try to give it back. So
Okay.
that's just what it is.
Okay, so when we first started talking about the salary schedule last year, and we're in the same position, I can almost say 100%, we are gonna go out for caucus. But we're in the same position. We cannot wait for, and not trying to tell the district how to do, whatever studies, surveys, or whatever they want to do. We're not trying to control that, but we can't wait on that study, right, to try to get money in our people's pocket. I understand that we have a bargain authority right now for 7.1 million, understand that. But even when we get the survey back, it's no guarantee whatever's on that survey where salaries are concerned, that the school district is even gonna honor those amounts. And that was said by Rob last year with TAC. So we just don't wanna give our people false hope. Like, you know, when this study come back and say bus drivers should make $30 an hour. You know, we want our people to understand, that don't mean they're gonna get those $30 an hour. So we just want, you know, the whole process, that our people understand what's going on, you know, with the whole, process. So, yeah, and my thing of it is, you know, we did some research and we actually knew, when we had all these different dates thrown at us, that survey was gonna take much longer than, initially, was stated, so.
Me? Yes, ma'am?
Yes.
And you say
Go
you
right
want to?
ahead.
Okay, so there's a lot. I'll just respond to a couple of things. So there's a couple of different things. I mean, there's levels to it. There's information that they're gonna give us, you know, based on, market data and all that all those types of things. And that's what they are, just pieces of information. And then there's so what's the structure gonna look like? What's really the new compensation structure, and how do individual positions fit into that? Those are two different things. And so those things are things that we're getting recommendations of, but then we're working on together at the table to agree, and to negotiate that in order to come to a place where we all want to be. And so what the district is set to honor is the agreements that we make. And it may be, and had said this from the beginning, it's not necessarily a one-time shot. It could be a multi-year deal in terms of, or I don't want to use the word deal in terms of the contract, but I'm saying a multi-year plan in terms of trying to determine, all right, based on where we are right now and where we know that we want to be in the future, how do we get there? What steps do we need to take in each individual year in order to do that? And that's going to be agreements that we make together. So people should expect that what will happen or what they receive is what we agree upon, which is going to be talked about right here at the table, which they will have the opportunity to hear, understand. So we bring, you know, we're all brought along in the process of doing that. So there should be no false expectation for anybody, because the conversations are going to happen here. Is it true that every single thing that comes through might be a recommendation that we take or don't take? We don't have to necessarily do everything that's there, but whatever we do because we all agreed upon it, and we agreed to it. And I think Rob had something that he wanted to add to it.
Arlene?
Yeah, Amy, I just have another question for you or Rob probably can answer it. So Evergreen have given you guys updates this far. You guys have received Evergreen information from the company itself.
We haven't.
The way they are in the process.
Yes, we've had conversations with them, weekly meetings, but we haven't received any data and paper or on electronically so far to share as of this point, but we expect that we will very soon.
Okay, anything else?
Okay, thank you.
Rob?
Yeah, and I just want to make sure, and I know everyone knows this, and but I want to say it on the record, that we're bargaining fiscal year 25 contract. So it's for July 1st of this year. So I think it's important to point out, one of the things that we've been successful at is getting back on track. So we're not bargaining in arrears here. We're bargaining for the next year. And I think that's important, based on Arlisa's statement about not being able to wait.
Okay, thank you for clarification. Arlene?
Yeah, we are aware of what year we're bargaining for. Yeah, we are aware of what year we're bargaining for. Yeah, we just, you know, want to get it done, and you know why, Rob, because we're concerned about the retro. So, yeah, we are aware of that. Thank you.
All right, anybody else? Oh, Patrice.
I guess when you all did the, request for proposal, RFP, and went through the process, and the scope, I don't know what the scope of your, the scope of, what your scope was. Did you all specifically say you needed this information by a particular time? Is this going into scope creep? I just want to know as far as the contractual.
Yeah, no, I think I did misrepresented March. It is gonna be April. There's no scope creep. We still have time to settle a bargaining agreement before we want to be done for the summer, which is late May. I was in our last meeting with Evergreen, which was very recent, I was very encouraged by the information that they were able to share with us about their timing. So, no, I wouldn't call it scope creep. I would say we're a few weeks behind where we thought we might be.
Okay, anybody else? All right, I don't see anybody else's hand. Oh, Lois?
Yeah, we want a caucus.
Okay. Time frame?
10 minutes.
Okay. You're good. All right. Okay, everybody's back, so, the district did not caucus, we just need a caucus report from SPALC.
Yeah, SPALC, we're a little concerned we don't have the data that you all have from, is it Green Source? Evergreen, I'm sorry. But we're also not comfortable with the amount that was put on the table this evening, and we would like to ask for another increase of an additional 4.9 million to total 12 million.
Is that it? Okay. Rob?
All right, so the first point, I'll just reiterate what Dr. Desamore said. We don't have currently, we have not received data from Evergreen, so we don't have that. So we're not looking at any data that you may be referring to. And I didn't go there previously, but I have to now, that we were told unequivocally by our school board, unlike last year, that is the amount of money that we have for bargaining. That is the amount of money we have for bargaining. That is the amount of money we have for bargaining. Okay. So I wasn't gonna go there because that's somewhat positional, but SPALC went there. So that's the money we have for bargaining.
Okay. All right, I don't think our intent tonight was to go too far into compensation until we have all the information we need, but Arlise, do you have something to say?
Yeah, Ms. Donna, like the information also from Evergreen?
They have no information
Right.
from Evergreen.
No, I was just trying to get clarification. You said you don't think the intent was to go too far, so I'm just trying to
Oh,
understand.
no. Just tonight to dive into options and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, he made it clear that it's the 7.1 million. It's the 7.1 million. It's the 7.1 million. And yeah, so we need to get with our team and have a discussion because yeah, we actually want more bargaining authority. So if the district will not move, we just need to have a conversation with our team and decide what we're gonna do on that.
Rob?
Yeah, and I don't want to tell the story again, but Amy told it very well already, that we have done, we did 8% last year, we did 80 cents in fiscal year 23, we did bonuses in 22 and 23, and 2% in 21. And I can tell you, going back years before this, 5% is more than we did almost in every single year. We did some 6% back when Dr. Browder was superintendent, I believe. So historically, this is right there with the anomaly of last year.
Arlise?
Well, I would like to give a story. So historically, for the last 15 years, the school district has given their employees a 1.99% raise for 15 years straight. That means for 15 years, the school district did not even give their employees a 2% raise, okay? Inflation is up.
I'm sorry, did you say SPALC employees 1.99%?
Yeah, for 15 years straight. People, inflation is up. The employees of the Lee County School District cannot even pay their rent. The average rent in this area is, in Lee County is $2,400 a month. None of the support staff in Lee County can qualify for a mortgage. And to say with the prices being the way that they are today, that basically 5% is acceptable, because that's the way I received it, is acceptable by some people. Definitely not by us, definitely not by the employees and the people that's struggling every day to pay their bills. I mean, we have people that's homeless. We have people living in multi-family homes, you know, because they cannot afford to buy, pay rent on their own. And it is very sad that the district does not care more about their employees than that.
Anybody? All right, so, we want to continue with compensation. Do you want to wait until you have a chance to digest everything? Okay, Amy?
I'd like some clarifications as to the 15 years that you're talking about, what 15 years you're talking about. Because I've been here 22, almost.
Okay.
And during whatever in any one of those 15-year spans in that span you want to talk about, there has not been a 15-year span where we gave 1.99% each year or whatever you said. That's just not accurate. We can give a detail year by year of what it is, but there have been 6% in those years. There's been, at 8% in those years. Now there were some years of 2%, yes, during different times, but there has not been 1.99% over any 15-year span that I'm aware of, so I wanted some detail as to what that meant.
Okay, Amy, I have been here for 33 years, so let me tell you how we came up with that.
Okay.
We took 15 years before, all the years before 2022, and we added all the raises up, right? In the percentage, 2%, 3%, whatever the percentage was, for 15 years. We added all the percentages up. We divided them into those years, and that's what it came out to. And no problem, we can put together a slideshow and bring it back, but that's what we came up with. It was less, when you added it all up for those 15 years, it was less than 2% average for the year.
Okay, and I'm not trying to put any work on anybody, so I don't mean that you have to bring back any particular slideshow or anything, but I don't feel like I can, we can put our heads together and touch base on, okay, where are the numbers coming from? Do we agree on those numbers? Do we agree on the calculations in order to say, okay, this is what it is? Because if we want, I don't have any issue with giving an historical account because the information is what it is, but I just want to make sure that we're putting out like an accurate account of what it is. So I don't want to put any work of any PowerPoint on anybody. I just want us to be agreed on what the information is so we can all work together from the same page. That's all I was saying. And I just have to say, it's like, well, I don't know. I just didn't feel like it was fair to say, well, it's a shame that the district doesn't care more about its people, because I think we all care, hopefully, about each other and about our people. That is why we're here, and that is why we do the work that we do. We come up with our interests, and they're all the same interests. We're supposed to have the same interests. And so we agreed, the interest that we have listed up there, certainly I agree with it, and it wouldn't be listed up there if our team didn't agree with them. So I just felt like that maybe was, we have our norms, one of them being to assume good intent and know that we're working from the same interest. And I just wanted to state that is what we are, that's what we do.
Arlene?
Okay, well, I'm sorry you took it that way. I am not gonna take it back. All of our people, we have employees calling us all the time, okay? So that's the way I see it, and that's the way I'm gonna have to call it. And a perfect example, if the district cared about their employees, why is it no? Basically, we got to take the 7.1 million and that's it. So that proportion is showing me and probably everybody else, how the district really feels about their employees. So the thing of it is, I don't want to sit here and go back and forth. We need to digest this, so we're pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I want to add a little bit to the story. We got the new PeopleSoft report yesterday, April 1st. There are approximately 4,377 employees for SPALC. Of that 4,377, 2,048 folks are 0 to 4 years. That is 47% of the bargaining unit are new people, which shows you that folks aren't staying. And as you keep going down, the next highest is 782. So we're seeing a trend of folks that are just leaving, they're not staying. And are we really valuing our folks? I just kind of wanted to throw that out there to have some more data.
I think Amy was next.
Did I do a home check? I'm sorry. Again, following our student detention issues and other individuals, being respectful, we are all here for the same purpose. Joe got 1% that is trying to undermine us.
Amy, did you?
I did, yes. It was, thank you for, it wasn't, it is not my intention to go back and forth with, with us, between us or anybody. It was my intention that, we just have a conversation because that's, what we're here to do. So I was just trying to do that. I think that, it was, so well, the district said, well, that's what we have and that's all we have. But at least as I learned for interest-based, that's what we were supposed to do. Like, we are supposed to engage in figuring out, okay, inside of our budget, what do we have? What is the best case scenario that we could put out there and give our honest, good faith effort as to what we have, bring it to the table, and then collectively we figure out what we were supposed to do with that. As I understood it, that's one of the tenets of interest-based bargaining, which is what we try to do. So that is not a position, it is what is supposed to be bargaining in good faith, is that, hey, this is what we have to say, well, the state gave us a 2.36%, but whereas we talked about trying to do what we could to restructure the budget and brought to the table more than double what the state gave us. Because in good faith, we are trying to accomplish our interests exactly as we have them noted up there, and in the interest of all of our employees and all of our students, as we all committed to do when we sat at the table.
Thank you. Rod? I saw your hand. Oh, Arlise?
I have a question, Ms. Donna. So, and this is a question for whoever can answer, Ms. Donna, maybe it's for you. So, I heard you, Amy, say that interest-based, you come to the table with your best offer. So with interest-based, the district offer whatever it is they offer, and is it interest-based that we have to accept whatever that thing is that they offer? Because I just don't want to be confused.
No, I mean, that's what we start working with, and that's what it's based around, but there's nothing that says an option can't be different than that.
Okay.
Based on the interest that we've established already.
Okay, all right, thank you.
But we're not doing options right now, so, and Amy's presentation was just to give you the information that she has at this time.
Okay, thanks.
Rob?
Yeah, I just need Lois to reiterate what she said when she came out of the caucus, the numbers.
Oh, the numbers, Lois, that you.
43778.
Plus,
No,
yeah.
no, what they were hoping for, what they.
We asked for an additional 4.9 million to be the equivalent of 12 million total.
Yeah, that's right.
Can I ask a question? What is that figure based on?
It was based on getting our folks more than 8% with the cost of living.
Okay, so nothing in our budget, just, like last year, I think you had, and I know you may need time to do this, but you had Jonathan Tuttle or somebody look at our budget or look at, and come up with a figure that you were able to sort of give us a reasoning behind it. But that's not the case today. And I understand you didn't have time.
And I can also tell you, when I'm talking to folks, even though they were appreciative of the 8%, it really did not bring them anywhere higher as far as the, you know, their cost of living and working for this district. I mean, it was just, as I stated at the end of bargaining, that it was a start, but it's not what they deserve. And as much as they appreciated it, they'll thank us all the time. I'm sure they thank you, but it was just a start.
Okay, any other clarification needed, Rob?
No
Anything
other
else?
clarification. I would just simply say that the board is doing the best they can with what we have and what we get from the state of Florida. If you looked at the ridiculous figure that we have to contribute to private schools, maybe people need to think about things on election day. Not directed at any of you.
Got it. All right. Rod?
My opinion, I feel as if what makes it difficult to make it a hard pill to swallow, I mean, if we weren't already behind, it would be okay. But because we're so far behind, it does make it a little more difficult. And at the end of the day, I always feel, and I always say this, the people that suffer the most are the people at the bottom. Support staff are the people at the bottom. So yeah, the world keeps going, every day is a different day, but those people at the bottom are still suffering. Even say we accept 5%, everyone, they're still on the bottom, we're still having the same issues financially. So it's, you know, that's kind of what, you know, I think we all should need to understand is like, you're still at the bottom no matter what.
Okay, anything else? Chris or Barbara? Chris and then Barbara. Why don't you go?
I just want to say that we all have to do our own budgets, you know, within our own households and whatnot. I think some of the underlying thinking is, you know, if I, you know, I have to put my electrical bill first. I have to put my, you know, my mortgage first. And when it comes to the people that are behind making the school system what it is, I mean, we're down in the trenches here, and shouldn't we be considered put on a higher level as opposed to, I mean, we see the spending that goes on. We see all the money that goes out. I mean, the decision making should be that we need to take care of our people first, not I understand the kids, you know, they need certain things, but in my opinion, the people that are making it happen, the people that are out in the trenches should be thought of it at a higher level. I mean, they're the necessity at this point. I don't know if I'm making sense of that, but that's...
All right, thanks, Chris. Barbara?
Can you repeat those numbers that you said earlier? Like you said, it was the 4,377, which account for 47% of the SPALC within 0 to 4, and then you provided another figure. Can you provide those numbers, please?
Yeah, the 0 to 4 years was the equivalent of 2,048 employees, which was 47%.
2,048?
Yeah. And then I didn't give all the breakdowns, but just the next highest group was 782. And every group after that is below that.
How many years was 782?
That was our 20-plus folks. And our least amount of folks is the 15 to 19 years. That's 287. So that's a story right there.
And that was what?
15 to 19 was 287.
Okay. Is that all you needed, Barbara? Okay. All right. Anybody else? All right, I think with that, we will put compensation away for this evening, and I'm sure there'll be plenty more story and options to come. Rob?
No, I agree with you.
Okay.
I don't know if they're prepared to talk about, SPALC's prepared to talk about the schedule situation I know they said they had to go back and talk about it, do some research, and we had spring break, so I'm not expecting that you have done that.
That's right.
So,
We have results.
okay.
Okay, great. So we're gonna go to Article 7, the work schedule now. Give a second here. We do have some story and the options that were put up here last time. We had 4 options up, and Lois, you said you had more for us?
Yeah, so SPALC did a survey, we launched it last week.
This would be story. Yeah.
Okay, so 70% of the maintenance crew completed our survey, and we listed the options that were given to us. Do you need me to list the options, or do we have them?
We have them right up here.
Okay. The only option that we added was a 5th option, which was status quo.
Okay, I'll end it. Go ahead.
69% of the folks prefer the status quo. I'm not sure we're shocked by that. And the second highest option was the 4 10-hour workdays, the Monday through Thursday and the Tuesday through Friday.
Okay, that was option 3. For Monday through Thursday, 6 to 4, and Tuesday through Friday, 6 to 4. Okay.
And those were the really only 2 options that were selected.
And what was the percentage for that?
38.
38, thanks. 38% prefer the 4-day work week. Well, there were other options that weren't significant percentages. Yeah, Rob?
Lois, can you tell me what the raw number was? 70% is the number. What is the raw number of people that completed the survey, if you have it?
Yeah, I don't have that on me, but I do know there's a little over, 120 folks in maintenance?
They're not all SPALC, though, are they? I guess that's my next question. Did you just survey SPALC people as far as you know?
We surveyed everybody that would be in the SPALC bargaining unit.
So just my reaction immediately to that is that 38% wanting a different schedule to me is actually fairly significant. So, so I don't think necessarily that we should stop the conversation. I think I'm wondering if there is potentially a couple of things. I'm just thinking out loud.
Okay,
One, is there a different schedule that might get more than 38% interested? Because we limited the options.
Mhm.
Two, is there potentially a way to do this not for FY25, but plan ahead for FY26? So there's significant lead time. And I haven't even talked to Barbara about this, but
okay.
so there's significant lead time for the change, if there were to be one. Because I'm actually pleasantly surprised with that number.
Okay. Chris? Wait for the mic, please.
This is just a question, I guess, if you would, is there flexibility? I mean, to let the employee pick if they prefer to work 4 10-hour days versus the 5 8s?
I guess, yeah, go ahead. If you
Yeah,
have an
I
answer.
think, and I just want you to know, those options were put up there so we have conversation. And I would say, and looking at Barbara, I don't think we take anything off the table. I think we try to explore what might work to be able to get more coverage. That's really what we're after here. So I'm all about collaboration with you all to, if the employees have a great idea, we're not gonna say no. I think.
I may be speaking out of.
No,
You
you're
may
good.
get volunteers to do it. I mean, versus, but if you, as opposed to, you know, it sounds to me like you're trying to do it across the board, which I think is not gonna go very well.
Well, certainly what you just said could become an option to put up here, Chris, and then we can have further discussion on the options. So if you want that as an option, that employees could choose 4-day schedule or 5-day schedule, we can put that up there as an option.
I'm good with that. I don't know if my team here wants to.
Remember, options is just brainstorming. You can put anything up, and then we'll talk about it and eliminate or add later. Okay. That's okay. All right, so we will add that as an option, and then when she gets up there, Barbara, you're welcome.
With the data, the 38%, was it reflecting more of particular trades, or was it all?
It was everybody.
It was all across the department?
Yeah, we just asked that simple question.
Okay.
So you don't have a breakdown of which trade might favor one thing or another? I think that's what she's asking.
That
Yeah.
might be a second. That might be a second survey.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
So I think, and first of all, let me say thank you, Lois and whoever else, Rod, Arlise, whoever was able to get that done. That's fantastic. So I appreciate that. I think what we'd like to do is, now that we have that data, put our heads together some more.
Okay.
On our side, which obviously we're not gonna be able to do right now. So, and I'm still throwing out FY26. I know Barbara would probably want this to happen as soon as possible, but
You want that as an option?
not yet.
Okay.
I just throw it out there because
Okay.
this is a significant
Food for
change,
thought.
and it's a significant change. And
It is.
a culture change. And Chris's point is very well taken, volunteers first, but I also am cognizant of the fact that Barbara has to have enough people to have crews, right, to do the work. So the number of volunteers would be key also. So then there's payroll, there's a lot of stuff.
Nothing
So-
simple.
But I'm happy, I'm glad to see that, you know, we're making a little bit of progress potentially on something. So I would ask for, just like they need to go back and talk about tonight, we need to go back and talk about this issue a little.
Okay. Laura, and then, or Arlene, do you have the mic? Go ahead.
Okay, I just have two questions. One is, do we know how many people in maintenance gonna get a new schedule? And then two is it temporary or permanent?
Is that for Barbara, or can you?
No, I can answer the first question.
Okay.
No, we don't know, because I don't think there's any desire to force necessarily something on someone. So I think Chris raised a great point, and knowing that there's that, say 100 people got surveyed, 30 of them are willing to, 35 of them may be willing to do something different, that's encouraging. So, and would it be temporary? I don't know, as far as like a pilot potentially, or we'd have to lock it in for a period of time. Obviously, the contract itself requires 30 days notice when you change someone's schedule, so we're well aware of that. So, not sure. Yeah.
Okay. Laura?
Are there trades that are weaker than the other? You know, like, that you're looking at, or is it just straight across the board?
This is to Barbara, but I don't know what weaker means, gosh.
Well, I mean.
Can we use another term?
By numbers? The number on each trade?
That are
or-
needed more, or have less people, or what do you mean?
Yeah, which areas seem
Yeah, I thought we
not
talked about this
weaker,
last
but, you know,
I'll hand
don't
it
have enough employees?
Gotcha.
Like, are the plumbers, you need more in the plumbing, or you need more in the electrical? That's what I'm, sorry.
Okay, so Ms. Arlisa's first part, that you asked if it was permanent. I would say it's, you know, the school district, there's different peaks throughout the course of a year. So as far as to say this is all permanent, we're not there yet, I would say. I would like to see maybe potentially a pilot program that would allow some opportunity to test the options, to see what's best suited for the department. The idea of the volunteer basis is a great idea. You know, but it's not something that's set in stone concurrently, and I don't know where it would be the best fit. I'm going to say to you that regarding your question, that if I'm looking at all my trades, I do have some departments that are fully staffed, and I have some departments that are not fully staffed due to the complexity of the trade that they perform. So we would definitely have to look at some areas. One of the key areas that I'm really trying to target heavily is preventive maintenance, because of the fact that preventive maintenance will increase the life of equipment. It's something that's necessary because as the district continues to grow, one of the challenges is going to be how do we get to replacement schedules quickly enough to make sure that everything stays on track. And in order to establish a more balanced schedule for replacements of equipment, we have to be able to do preventive maintenance. And it's critical across the board. It's critical in drainage, it's critical in HVAC, it's critical in plumbing systems, all across the board. So I'm looking for opportunities and options in which our department, depending on where the most needs are, how do we implement something that gives us some flexibility, that if we have to do a 4-10, if we have to do a little bit of a change of schedule, there is flexibility enough for us to say, team, hey, you know, we have an increase of work orders in this particular area. How do we get there? You know, let's pilot this program and say, hey, let's try to tackle this schedule and see how we make this better fit in order to address the needs of the district. So I'm trying to explore as many different options as we have. That's why I brought it forward to the team so that we can figure out what's doable, what's acceptable, so we know how to move forward.
Okay, Thank you. Anybody else? No? Was there anything else in skit 7, just this one issue? All right.
I do.
Yes, Rob.
And because we got away from compensation, we do have another issue, which is the way we pay the youth mental health training supplement or pay, or for people to do that training.
Okay.
We have an interest in getting away from the hourly rate and doing it via supplement. So I don't think I have the information with me tonight.
Okay.
And I'll explain why that is. Briefly, we get a grant to pay for that training, and the hourly rate has required us to dip into other funds to pay for that because we're not paying a supplement. 98% of the districts in the state, because this is mandated by statute, pay it via supplement and not hourly rate. So, want to talk about that.
Okay, Amy's gonna add it to the snapshot for now so we don't lose it. Okay, go ahead.
Just an addendum to that. It's more applicable to talc. I just want to bring that point up because we don't have a real clear way to pay supplements to SPALC. So, but I was asked to put it out there, so.
Okay. Okay, and we did have a snapshot about, I know, you're good. Snapshots for industry certifications. We had supplements up there for that on the snapshot. Okay. Lois?
Yeah, I just need some clarification. How many hours is it for this training?
Amy, can you step outside the box? Do you know the youth mental health training, how much it is? I know PD doesn't do it. Yeah, it's 6 or 8. It's a full day. Yeah, it's a full day.
6 to 8. Best guess.
We've done it 100%. Well, sometimes.
It's all over the place. Okay. Lois?
I was just gonna ask that question. I've had a few people ask me, you know, their principals are allowing them to do it. But some of them are telling them they have to do it after hours, and that's causing a big ruckus with some of our members. So I just wanna kind of see what you say to that.
So we have this meeting called Labor Management tomorrow. So if you could bring that there, yeah, let us know.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. Rob?
Well, just, Teresa asked me a good question. If I talked to Lori, yes, but Lori Brooks, but this has actually been handed off to safety and security. So Dave Newland is in charge of this now, so.
Okay. Anything else? Rob?
No, I don't think so. I think we all have some kind of work to do in our own worlds. And,
All right. Our next meeting for SPALC is
2 weeks from, well, yesterday, I guess.
2 weeks from yesterday.
Yeah.
It'll be back on a Monday again, which would make it April 15th. Thank you. Tax day.
And because she just spoke up and reminded me, I just want to tell everybody tonight is Elizabeth's last bargaining session. And she's been an incredible asset to me and to the district, and just publicly want to wish her luck.
Yes. Thank you, Elizabeth. Elizabeth. Started out in here setting up our cameras and look at her now. Anything else for this evening? With that, I guess we will see you on the 15th. Everybody has something to do, as Rob said, and think about and contemplate. So have a good early release evening.